Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Metropolis Radio. Today we are taking a look at this article here that actually is quite funny, but also a little dubious, if you ask me. And that is movie piracy on the rise thanks to same-day streaming releases. At CinemaCon 2021, the CEO of the Motion Picture Association, Charles Rivkin, stated that same-day streaming releases has caused a rise in movie piracy. I think there's a little more to the story here that they don't want to admit, but let's get into it. The introduction of same-day streaming releases has led to a large increase in movie piracy, according to the Motion Picture Association, and what I'm going to say before I dive any further is consider the source. That's all I'm going to say here. Following the closure of theaters during the COVID-19 pandemic, the new release strategy has allowed studios to release their productions with ease during the uncertainty around further closures and audience hesitation about going to theaters, allowing studios to keep release dates and maintain a profit. Multiple studios have adopted the same-day streaming releases for many of their larger, high-budget productions. This can be seen with the Walt Disney Company, which has released select films onto the Disney Plus streaming service through their Premier Access option, allowing audiences to access these latest releases for an additional fee before they are added to the standard service. A recent example is Cruella, which will be available to all Disney Plus subscribers this Friday. So, I think it's already up now. By the time that this video goes out, because what they're not bringing up, they had like Mulan, Jungle Cruise, and Black Widow were all Disney Plus Premier Access. While this has allowed studios to stick to set release dates, many in Hollywood fear the potential impact it can have on piracy. During CinemaCon 2021, via The Wrap, CEO of the Motion Picture Association, Charles Rivkin, referred to actions taken against the piracy group NTG Release Group by the Alliance for Creativity and Entertainment. Rivkin stated that the group was able to upload pirated copies of films within minutes of their digital release, with the group being responsible for uploading 4,600 releases this past year. And here is what Charles Rivkin said, quote, "In May, we released a statement from ACE against a group called NTG Release Group. When we took it down, NTG was ripping films since 2018 with 4,600 releases in the last year alone. Keep in mind, the year is 2018. They uploaded films within minutes of them being made available on digital release," end quote. Black Widow's 67% second weekend box office drop is believed to have been affected by these new piracy tactics. I tend to disagree. They are using piracy as the scapegoat because no, it's not the fact that Black Widow released 4 or 5 years too late. Oh no, it's all the pirates' fault that we lost all this money. It wasn't our improper timing because it's never ever our fault. According to the Motion Picture Association of America, the Walt Disney Corporation, Marvel Studios, the list goes on and on and on and on. Following multiple delays, Black Widow was released both in theaters and on Disney Plus through Premier Access. Due to the film being easily available at home on the same day as it hit theaters, piracy groups were able to upload high-quality illegal copies to multiple websites. The association believes that this was a factor in the steep drop seen in box office following its opening weekend, resulting in it becoming the second largest weekend drop within the MCU. Again, how many people are now saying Endgame was the endpoint to the MCU? So at some point the gravy train had to fucking end. And I'm saying this right fucking now. Even if COVID didn't happen and Black Widow came out and bombed, they would still be blaming piracy for it. Mark my fucking words, they still would. These growing concerns come during a time when the future of theaters is a point of discussion among key voices within the film industry. The National Association of Theater Owners fears that the threat of piracy can cause more harm to theaters already struggling to recover from closures due to the COVID-19 pandemic, especially when paired with audiences hesitant to return to theaters among reports of rising cases. The release strategy has also been addressed by creative figures such as Denis Villeneuve, with the director's refusal to offer digital screeners for Dune, insisting that viewing the film on demand would be comparable to, quote, driving a speedboat in a bathtub. Following similar complaints by Christopher Nolan regarding Tenet's release last year, with both studios and theaters looking forward cautiously regarding each release, it is evident that same-day streaming releases will remain a potential strategy for most studios going forward. The funny part is they bring up Christopher Nolan's Tenet. Tenet straight up bombed in the theaters, basically reaffirming Warner Brothers' decision to do day and date releases. And then Christopher Nolan gets his panties in a fucking wad. But I went over that at the time very, very extensively. And I think it was my longest video yet at like an hour and 20 minutes. But guys, I think that you're seeing piracy on the rise for one simple reason. Look at how many streaming services are out there now. You have Netflix, Amazon, and Hulu are the big three. But now let's add in HBO Max and Disney Plus and Paramount Plus and Apple TV Plus. Discovery Plus just came out. And I'm trying to think if there are any other major ones. I can't think of any right off the top of my head. But now you're seeing a fracturing of the market within the streaming, within, just the glut of streaming services. This was bound to happen. People were just going to pay for one or two services and pirate the rest of the content that they want, because when 95% of all content that you wanted was available through Netflix, Amazon, and Hulu, nobody really had a problem with that. But the more you fracture the market, the more you're going to incentivize piracy. And guys, that's pretty much all I got. That's why I said that this article is kind of disingenuous, because they conveniently ignore the fact that there's now more streaming services now than there were 10 years ago. And yes, piracy did overall go down once Netflix became available to the masses, but now you're starting to see it go back up because of the glut of all these new streaming services. But like I said, guys, I am going to truly end it right here. If you stuck around this long, thanks so much for doing so. And if you've been following me long enough, you know I am terrible at ending these videos. So I will just see you guys next time.